Kofi Annan peace plan for Syria bound to fail? Why seaside towns love bank holidays and sun? Bubba Watson wins dramatic Masters. And presenter pelted with yogurt and eggs live on air. Good afternoon. The leader of the Rebel Free Syrian Army FSA said a peace plan put forward by international mediator Kofi Annan was bound to fail because Syria's government would not implement it. Riyad al-Assad added his group had not been asked to deliver written guarantees to end the violence in Syria, apparently contradicting Damascus, which on Sunday said it had demanded the written pledge as a condition for the withdrawal of its troops. The regime will not implement this plan. This plan will fail, he told Reuters by telephone from Turkey. The rebels had already given a verbal promise to stop fighting if the government did the same. We have given our word that if the regime commits to the plan, then we will too. We are honest. The Chinese government added its weight to international calls for the ceasefire to be recognised by both sides. The plan, drawn up by UN Arab League envoy Kofi Annan, requires Syrian President Bashar al-Assad to begin pullback of military concentrans in and around population centres by April the 10th for a truce to start 48 hours later. Earlier, Annan said an unacceptable escalation in violence in Syria violated guarantees made to him and called on Damascus to keep its promises to the end of the bloodshed. He urged both Syrian forces and opposition fighters to halt all forms of violence by 6 a.m. Damascus time on April the 12th, in line with his 6-point peace plan agreed on March the 27th. Syrian forces loyal to President Bashar al-Assad shelled an area in the rebellious province of Idlib near the border of Turkey on Sunday, killing and injuring dozens of people, opposition activists have said. Today, Turkish officials claimed that 3 people were wounded at a refugee on its side of the border from Syrian gunfire. The sun shining, hundreds of people crowding the long golden beach. Shops and arcades filled by throngs of happy day trippers and holiday makers, much as local business may dream. That was the opposite of the scene in Margate today. Bank holidays are traditionally boom times for seaside towns which, like Margate, rely on tourism for a significant proportion of their economy, but one rainy weekend can sour the dough when people decide to stay at home or visit indoor attractions. In contrast to Margate, there was a huge queue of cars outside the Blue Water shopping centre 60 miles down the road. While rain may be bad for Margate, bank holidays are, in general, good for those areas and business which rely on tourism. But they are a small part of the economy overall. According to the Centre of Economic and Business Research, CEBDR, just 15% of businesses do well out of bank holidays. Compare that with the 45% of the economy which is the CEBR says suffers from the shutdowns. According to Douglas McWilliams from the CEBR, the 2 Easter bank holidays alone will have cost the economy £4.7 billion. England and Wales normally have a total of 8 bank holidays. That adds up to an annual cost of £19 billion, according to the researchers. And, thanks to the Queen's Diamond Jubilee, there's an extra bank holiday this year. Although the CEBR points out that the stronger economies generally have fewer bank holidays, it doesn't want to scrap them altogether. Instead, it wants them to better spread out. At the moment, they are concentrated around spring and early summer, and around Christmas and New Year. The researchers say that the concentration for bad economies it leads to peaks and troughs across the year. Of course, some defend bank holidays, pointing out that it's a chance for families to spend time together, and when people aren't working, they are usually giving time economy a bit of a boost. Often that money is being spent in places that, just like Margate, could really do with a bit of extra cash. Unless, that is, it's raining. Golf now, and Bubba Watson claimed a dramatic win in the US Masters, beating Louis Oosthuizen in a playoff at Augusta. The 33-year-old American stopped Oosthuizen from becoming the third South African to don the green jacket in the last 5 years, and the first to win after producing an albatross. Britain and Ireland were well represented on the final leaderboard, with Lee Westwood finishing on 8 under, Ian Poulter on 4 under, and both Ireland's Padraig Harrington and England's Justin Rose on 4 under. Watson won the title on the second play-off hole, despite hitting into trouble with his pink driver. He pronounced a superb shot onto the green and 2-putted for victory. He becomes the 14th different winner of the last 14 majors and the 8th in a row who had never won one before. 7 was already a record. After winning the Masters, a tearful Bubba Watson said, "I've never got this far in my dreams." And finally, a news presenter in Greece was pelted with yogurt and eggs live on air after 17 angry protesters broke into the television studio. Private channel Iopistos TV1 said 17 intrusions who faces behind handkerchiefs broke into the studio on Friday evening. Pangros Vuhas, who had interviewing a local politician at the time, bore the brunt of the attack. It was reportedly aimed at him because the previous week he had invited the spokesman of an openly neonato party onto his talk show. And that's it for now. Our next news is at 6:15. But for now, from me, bye-bye.